Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and I'm going to continue adding one keyword to rocks so that we can support init parameters. So somebody told me in the Discord channel that you have to look at the setter method and to see on iMethod symbol if it is init only. So, which made sense because there is no init il thing for property. You have to look at the setter, but then there was somewhere in the setter that I had to say this has to be an init. I just didn't go the whole way, and that's how you do it. So that being said, what we want to do is say, how do we want to do this? We'll say self, say return self switch. Now, if I do dot, not sure if a switch is going to be what I am looking for. Can I say get method? No, it's not. Yeah, a property symbol. Well, I have the, okay, I don't think pattern matching is going to do what we want it to do, but we can do if self.get method is not null and self.set method is not null. Then we can say return self.get, no, sed method is init. If it is init only, then we're going to say property accessor get and init. Else property accessor get and set. Okay. Else. Nope. Oh yeah. So this is if both of them were not null. Now we're going to just say else if self.get method is not null. We're going to return property accessor get else. Return self.set method is init only. If that's true, then it's just an init. Otherwise, it's just a set. There. It's just that simple. Why are you barking? No, it would not be null here. Okay, I know it can't check that by the logic I just did. And I get that, but oh, you can switch to his, let's see. Not null when that doesn't. It doesn't read well at all. I actually like the way this reads much better. So yeah, we're going to stick with this. So init only get then set. Okay. So I think we have that right now. I need to come back here. And do we actually have a test in here that says get accessors? No, that's wrong place. It's the wrong place. We need iProperty symbol extensions, which we do not have. Okay. We have is unsafe, which makes sense, but we never done like get namespaces or anything like that. So we're going to have get accessors. So let's do this. Get accessors tests. Okay. And so what we're going to want here is a yes, because what we're going to want is get the get root descendant nodes single. So there should be only one property. Okay. So in this case, what we would want is property accessor, just a get. Okay. And so what we're going to pass in is a property accessor. Okay. And then here we need to do that. And then we're going to say assert that get accessors is equal to expected value. There. Okay. So let's take these other test cases out for now. And let's say let's run this, because this should work for what we have here is just as a getter. Okay. And then once that passes, I'll put in, there's like 5 other cases. So, okay, that passed. So let's put in the other cases. We're going to have a get and a set, which should give us a get and set. We could have a get and a init, which should give us a get and a init. We should have the ability to say set, which should be giving us a set. And we can do one more, which is, let's actually do that above here. No, let's do that here. Init and init. Run these tests, and they pass too. Okay, good. So we've got to start. Let's actually commit this. So say 158 updated get accessors for init. Okay, so we got that. And that takes one thing off the list, which is done. Okay, now we need to do get mockable properties. So we can get accessors here. This is interesting. If accessors member identifier, or I think you could say here get and set or get and init, because that falls under one. I believe that's why I'm doing that here, because we're saying get members can be seen by get accessor member identifier of accessors or accessors equals get. And I could do this where like I can or them, they're flags. You know, I could do that as well, but I've kind of set a pattern here. So I never expected a third one, and I wrote this and then they threw one on me. So I could say, you know, we could do this. But the to-do arguably this could be a flags. No, I don't want to do that. And the reason why is because a set and an init, that's not a valid combination. So you can't or those together as flags. That wouldn't actually work. So no, I'm going to keep it this way. Good job, me. Okay. Let's see. Let's go through here. See if there's anything that's actually looking at the accessors here. We do the same thing. Do we say and up? Did I accidentally do an and? No, I did an or. Let's capture that, because I think we know we're going to need that. So we're going to do that here. We're going to do that here. Okay. And dun, 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 same thing here. Okay. And I think that's it for that. Okay. So now if I come to type symbol extension tests, where would I want to do this? Do I have, I type symbol extension, get mockable properties. Okay. Well, I could have one in here that just says, did you catch that you're actually doing it in a init? Let's take this out before I wonder 20 years down the road why I did that. We could do, let's do this. Get mockable properties with a init. So our target type is going to be class test. We're going to say int get and init. We're going to say get and init. And we're also going to say get and, or just init. Which again, odd, but it is allowed. Okay. So now we're going to get the type symbol, member identifier, get mockable properties, assert that. The number of properties should be 2. Yeah, that got formatted crappily, didn't that? Jeez. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Do not like the formatting that's going on in 2022. It's not doing a good job. Okay, so we don't want to do that. What we want to do is say, yeah, just look at the value name. Value.name is equal to get and init. And that's really all we care about. That's the property we want to get. Get and init. What we really care about this is accessors is equal to property accessor get an init. Okay. Trying to get used to it. Oh, that's right. Okay. If I got to do that. Okay. I'm trying to do that new keystroke to get used to skipping over the parts. So we want get an init. Now we just want init, which should be that. This should be init. Next, we don't care about overriding. Okay, run this test. See if this passes. And it failed. Why did you fail? Sequence contains no elements. Well, you know, this is a public class. Target type name, we're trying to get public class test. It got 2 get and init. Okay, are we in debug? My God, this is just crawling. We are not. We need to be in debug. Oh my God, this is just horrible. Okay, anyway, hopefully we can actually debug this in a couple minutes time. Jeez. Okay, so how many properties do we have? We have 0. So that was going to fail. Multiples of these should fail. Wow, that's actually interesting. That is really unexpected. It got the type symbol, right? Like if I hover over the type symbol, what, you can't actually show me the... I know why. I just realized what I did wrong. These need to be virtual. Otherwise, they're not mockable. So it did the right thing. It actually did the exact right thing. And if I made them an interface, it would have done the right thing. Yep, and it passes. Okay. So I think that's it from there. I'm okay with that for now. Now we got to go into some of the nitty-gritty stuff. We're going to start with the create. So mock property builder. Build getter. Build setter. What does a property mockable result give you? Yeah, we're going to have to be just a little bit smarter and look at the accessor to see if it's a get and set, or if it's a get init or an init, then you print out init here. Otherwise, you print out set, because I think down below you're saying build. You get attributes. Okay. And I think, yeah, this is explicit interface implementation. If it's a get or get and set, then we build a getter. If it's a set or a get and set, then we also have to build a setter. or if it's an init. So, I mean, I know what I need to do. It's like, what's the quote unquote right way to do this? Because we have to do the same thing up here. Do I care about the name? Doesn't really matter. Oh, I see what I'm doing here. That's actually in the member identifier attribute to say what you actually identified. So or and now what I want, do I really care? It's a setter, but it's again in the IL, it's an init. The name actually is going to matter here when I build the setter though. I don't really care about setting it because it is a setter. It's just in a specific scope. So I can say here if result.accessors equals get and set, or you are brilliant, else we're going to do this and say init, and we're done. Okay, that's all we need to do there, and that's for the property builder. We'll get to the indexer eventually, right? Yeah, mock index builder. Okay, and we're going to actually kind of do these in order. Okay, so build setter, because we would only call this if we knew we had a setter. It could be a set or an init. So if I got called and it wasn't a set, I do an init, and we're done there. So that's done. Okay. Yeah, we need to come back here. So we did mock property builder. Now we need this one to take a look at. I said that to take a look at. Okay, build properties and build indexers. Let's do properties first. It's not an indexer, doesn't need that. Get well-known names, getters, setters, and guess what we're going to do here? Initializers. Initializers. And it is going to have the name of that. Okay. Now, why did I just do this? Is because if we have any that, those are properties, and a property can be either a getter, a setter, or an initializer. So we will essentially copy this and say its indexer and accessors equal init or get and init. So now what we're going to have here is a bunch of initializers. Okay. Expectation self. And what else do we possibly need to do here? Gets, sets, and then inits as well. Okay. Setter and wait. So there's getter and getters. There's setter and setters. There's init and initializers. Works for me. A knitter. Okay, so we have that. Okay, I think that's done for the property. What about the indexers? So we have get, set, and we're going to have the same thing here that says if we have any of these, we need to do initializers. I feel like I'm, copying and pasting a bunch of code, which I am. Oh, I better go back down below because I wonder if I screwed up there. Initializers. And then down here, same thing. Again, an initializer having a init would be odd, but I don't think you're forbidden from it. I think I've checked that out in the last one. So this needs to be an init. Okay. So let's come back down here. I want to make sure that I didn't. Yeah, that would have been bad. This should be a init right here. Okay. Now, if I think I missed something, which is if I come up here to the expectations, there is an explicit property setter, and we need an init to match. Init expectations. Okay, we'll call that the right name. That. So that's good. Good thing I caught this. That would have been bad. I would have eventually caught it, but. And then we want here init. And so we do that and that. Okay, so now I think we got all that done. So we close that. We come over here and we are done with that. Property extensions builder. There's a thought that's gone through my head, which is I hate to be morose, but what happens if I would pass and all these projects that I have out in GitHub, they just would eventually stagnate because I'm really the only one that does any maintenance on them. You know, it's a very known problem of anybody doing anything. What happens when they go? You know, I guess somebody could fork it and keep going if they really wanted to. I'm not sure why, but they could. Okay, so if we have that, we build properties and indexers. That looks good. Get and set or oh, these are gets, sets, and now we need one that is going to be init. I am feeling like I could really do some what's the word? Optimization on some of these things. I really feel like it's not as optimized as it could be. Init of containing type, explicit next property accessor. Now, did I actually get to that one? I will, but I haven't yet. Okay. Well, we passed in init, which is the right thing. So now we have get, we have set, and we've got init. And then this is init. And then get and init. Okay, now I need to do explicit properties because you have to be explicit. Get, set. Yeah, there's a part of me that goes, this could all be optimized. And someday I will get there. Like one thing I've thought of is if you find a member that you know is mockable for some reason, you should immediately emit the thing as code, as a snippet somewhere, and then you could package these all up as strings or something. I have no idea how that would work. That might be actually far more work than I would expect, but that's okay. Build properties. So we probably have a get, we have a set. At least I'm consistent in how I'm coding. That's making this a little bit easier to peruse and digest. Though, again, I would not envy anybody trying to like do any kind of work on this. Init or that, and that becomes an init. Okay. So I think we've now done everything in this one. And so we just have about 5 types left. No, don't save it. I'm trying not to save it. So 5 types left. 5 or 6, although the mock property builder for the make should be pretty straightforward. So I'll try to finish those edits up in the next episode, and then we'll write some tests and see what I missed, what I screwed up, and what I actually got right. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.